That look okay?
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. First of all, again, thank you for inviting me. I always enjoy coming to these and speaking. Just a little bit about MAPTS for those of you who don't know really who we are. We are the Mining and Petroleum Training Service for the University of Alaska Fairbanks Career and Technical College. We are a direct partner with industry. That was what we were designed to do. So we work directly with both the mining and the oil and gas industries. And now we're also working with some of the construction industries as well. Just to kind of take you through. Before I get started through the program, I always like to kind of explain that all of our mine camps and construction camps and oil and gas camps have no charge to the students. It's all tuition free, and it's primarily funded through Department of Labor, through industries, and some of our construction partnerships. So as I go through the program, it's important to understand that one is the industry is really looking for good qualified folks. And right now, we don't have anybody in our reserve lists that have taken our classes that aren't already employed. So I just always like to kind of throw that out there. But our remote camp is we have our underground class, which is kind of our premier camp. It's a 4-week program. The students go to camp. We pick them up in Fairbanks Airport. We take them to our remote facility. It's a camp facility. And they attend the class for 2 weeks. They go home for 2 weeks and they come back for the final 2 weeks. It's a 280-hour course. Now we have two methods of getting into that class. One is the mining companies themselves by sponsoring the students and putting them through the class with a contingent offer letter of employment upon graduation. And then the second means is walk-ons. We do get students that walk into the program. We work with them also to help get them funded and things like that. And then at graduation, oftentimes the mining companies hire them as well. We have the surface class. That's a 2-week class, and that's primarily learning how to run mine haul trucks, dump cats, and things like that. That program was really instrumental last summer when the Manh Choh project was starting up, and we moved some 40 students through our program in the spring to provide them with all of their truck drivers. And most of those students were local from Tok and the surrounding villages. So that was kind of primarily with the surface class. We started a new program now, kind of by popular demand from a lot of the native corporations had seen what we were doing. They understood our successes, and they asked us if we could get involved in rural heavy equipment operator training, and that's what we've done. It's a 2-week program. Again, students fly to Fairbanks. We pick them up, bring them to our facility for 2 weeks, and we teach them how to run the types of equipment that they would be running in rural Alaska. And I'll get into that in more detail here. Our clients consist of Alaska, obviously, the US, Canada, and now Greenland is our other new partner. Just a little bit about the Greenland partnership. Greenland is undergoing some mining industry expansion, but they have no capacity to train, or they don't even have experienced miners on the island. So we were asked by the US State Department if we could represent the US in helping train underground miners for Greenland. Our Yukon University partnership, we've had that partnership from the beginning. In fact, it was that partnership that actually got us into the facility-based training. And so we do continue to train for Canada as well. For our underground program, we also have a simulator. It's about $1 million simulator. And what that does is it allows us to work with the students in a controlled environment, so students can learn all of the operating controls and methods of underground mining. because the underground mining equipment doesn't have jump seats in it. So our instructors don't have the capability of sitting next to the student while they're learning. So we have to make sure that we get those skills kind of in place before we start operating the heavy equipment. Once the students complete their simulator training, they head to the field and they learn how to inspect all of the heavy equipment. They look for all of the safety defects, things like that. And then they also operate on the surface. When they're operating on the surface for the underground, once we're all comfortable with the skills of the students, then we head underground to do our training down there. That's our newest haul truck. It's exactly the same haul truck that our students will be operating when they leave our school and start at the mine. So it makes the transition kind of seamlessly. We transfer the skills to underground and to the surface to the quarry. So now we're in the process of actually working in the mine and in the mine environment. Our students underground learn how to jackleg drill. What that does is it helps them to understand a lot more about rock control and ground control and things like that. But one of the things that it's important to understand is underground mining has modernized considerably. So if I back up to this haul truck, this is what our entry-level students will be doing when they enter the mine. They're going to be operating underground heavy equipment. This is the haul truck that they'll be operating. And so when we talk about underground mining, a lot of people think about, the pick and shovel and the jackhammers and things like that. And that's really not modern mining. What we're showing you there, that is modern mining. We teach our students how to load and haul underground in the underground program. And like I said before, that's primarily the mechanized mining that I'm talking about. We teach our students how to install utilities underground and repair utilities. Utilities meaning things that support the underground operations, such as air, water, ventilation, things like that. Our surface mine operations is we train our students to operate the large haul trucks that are in the mines and the articulated 40-ton haul trucks. We also teach them how to use the dump cat for maintaining the dumps and maintaining the area around the loading units. So that's a 2-week program. Our newest class now is, we call it Rural Heavy Equipment Operator Training. And I got to tell you, since we started this, it has taken off like wildfire. Our classes have been kind of overbooked since we've done this. In fact, we are pretty much booked now through till spring. So that's been a really good program for us. But one of the uniquenesses about that program is the fact that if you look down underneath that big haul truck, it says 18 to 24-year-olds are encouraged. And that's exactly it. The industry now understands that that's our future workforce. So we're spending a lot of time focusing on those individuals, and particularly coming out of rural Alaska, because there are a lot of infrastructure work taking place and soon to take place out in the different regions. And we're getting students from all over Alaska coming into these classes and then returning back to their villages and working on, maintaining airstrip stuff, maintaining roadways, snow removal, all of those kind of things that the local villages require. And until this program came along, most of those folks would have never gotten the opportunity. In fact, usually those opportunities would go to somebody from outside of the area. So that's been a huge draw for us now. And we're really pleased at the outcome of what's going on there. Just a little bit more about that program. The things that you will learn are all listed on the side there. And again, it's a 2-week camp, and there is no charge to the student other than transportation to and from Fairbanks. And I will say this too, and especially with Dominka being with the Department of Labor has been huge in helping us fund these students and these programs. And we wouldn't probably be in existence without the Department of Labor. So I just want to take my hats off to them for all of their support. This is a list of our on-site instructors. Myself, Boise was actually worked for me when I was at managing the Donlin Gold Project. He started for me when he was 19, worked his way all the way up. He was with me about 18 years at Donlin. He worked his way up, took my job as operations manager when I left to the university. And then once I started this program, I stole him from Donlin. So Brandon Hoover, a 10-year miner, local from Delta Junction with the Pogo mine. He is now our underground instructor. Jim Smith, nearly 50 years of underground mining experience all over the country. McKinley now, he's our on-site mechanic. And he's also going to start another class that I want to talk about. And that is the oiler class. It's like an entry-level diesel mechanics class. And that's going to start in December. And that's going to be a 2-week program as well. I mean, no, excuse me, that'll be a 4-week program. So it will be kind of in conjunction with the underground students. And the reason we chose it to be a 4-week program is because it's going to teach students not just to maintain equipment and do, you know, some repairs and things like that, operating the fuel truck and the lube truck, but it's also going to help teach them how to run the equipment. And they'll be a whole lot more effective at their job when it comes to servicing equipment, when they can go up and move the equipment around, or they can go underground and get the equipment, things like that. It makes that student far more valuable. Randy Evans. Randy is also a 40+ year miner. All over Alaska, underground. So he's our underground instructor as well. Robert Wood, or Bob Wood, he also helps train our miners and our equipment operators, but he also does all of our compliance training by Zoom. He was the MSHA supervisor for Alaska for many years, and now he's working for us, and he teaches the MSHA certification now. And of course, the most important person on the team is our chef. He's the one that gets all of the kudos at graduation, because we do have a pretty outstanding food service at the site as well. We have an oil and gas division right now that's headed up by Abram. It's delivered in our Anchorage office. We provide compliance training for the slope for all of the oil field industry, actually. And then now we're starting a new program. It's a roustabout program that's based out of our camp. We're working with a number of groups up there on the slope, ASRC particularly. So we have our first ASRC roustabout class starting in November out of camp. So we're pretty pleased with that. These are our MSHA trainers. Brandon, again, he also does on-site Zoom delivery for MSHA for underground, and Bob does it for all of them. So we're really proud of what they do for the industry as far as safety goes. And our support staff, we couldn't do anything without our support staff. Amelia, she is here located in Soldotna. She runs our Soldotna office here. She does all of our logistics for camp. She helps with grants. She helps with travel, with our travel and communications back and forth with students traveling to and from camp, things like that. And then Shirley is in our Anchorage office. She's with the oil and gas division, but she also does all of our bookkeeping, our accounting, maintains our budgets, a lot of other external grant work, things like that. So that's kind of our staff in general. One of the things that I wanted to really highlight is the fact that the industry right now is really looking for employees. The infrastructure funds were just released this week, so things are going to start probably happening pretty quickly now. There's a lot of gearing up for the Willow project, and that's going to require a lot of employees. So we're in the process of gearing up for it as well. As far as how do you apply for our programs, it's quite simple. I'm going to have Amelia put in the chat our contact information, but in order for a student to apply, we need to have them submit to us a resume, a cover letter as to why they want to attend the program, and 2 references. And in doing that, then we review all of that and we can put them on the roster. If there's any Department of Labor funding involved, we'll get through that, starting through that process. We do need to have those resumes and applications, though, at a minimum of 4 weeks before the class, because it takes quite a while. And there is a bit of a waiting list too. So I do encourage students that if they're looking to get into our spring classes, which will start in March, then they should probably start getting us some info right away, because those classes are going to fill up really quickly. So if we can kind of get the word out there regarding that, that's kind of where we are with our program. We just recently moved under the Career and Technical College for UAF, so we are now a part of that group over there. We're quite pleased with that because now we all kind of speak the same language and we all service the same industries. So that's been real huge for us. So having said that, I'm absolutely entertain questions, comments, anything like that. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you, Director Bieber. For those who may not have access to the chat box, Kelly asked, can students in your summer program get academic credit? And Emilia responded, unfortunately, no, we are a non-credit program, certificates only. So thank you for staying on top of the chat box, Emilia. And then we have from Mary, so would it be a good idea if I have any seniors interested in heavy equipment to apply for your program now, so
Yes.
they can be on the list for the May 2025?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. And
Carly says,
we're
oh, go
really
ahead.
and we're really we're seeing a really solid response to the 18 to 24-year-old students. They're coming into our program and doing quite well. And these industries are grabbing them up pretty regularly. So we're really pleased with that.
That is not the age limit though, right?
No, it's
okay.
open to anyone. We added this because all too often younger students think that maybe this doesn't apply to them, when in that fact it actually does apply to them particularly, right? But no, we get students of all ages. 40% of our students are actually female too, by the way.
That was my question. Do you welcome females?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
In all of those programs, underground as well. A lot of our graduates are females that came through our program and are long-term employees. We've trained over 550 Alaskans now in the mining industry. And so having said that, 20% of all of the miners in Alaska has come through our program for the large mines. So that's something we're pretty proud of.
So Carly comments, this is so cool. It makes me want to apply. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I wish I'd have had that opportunity when I was younger too. Yeah.
You're doing a fabulous work, Director Bieber, you and your team. Thank you so much for that. Naomi asks, where can I obtain the flyer in your presentation?
I can have Amelia get that out. I can have her send it to you, Dominica.
Thank you. Yes, so that was my question. So do we follow your Facebook page? Is there a sign up for a newsletter where we can stay informed on the latest opportunities?
Yeah, I would keep in contact with our Facebook page and our
Mhm.
website.
Okay, website and Facebook page. Okay,
And we're
perfect.
training year round, so it's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks out, year round. So we have
Mhm.
classes going all the time.
Okay, so I'll make sure to send distribute the flyer that I get from Amelia. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Nick says, on heavy equipment training, do you suggest students go on to AFTEC, then into an apprenticeship?
Well, I mean, that's up to them. Our program is to hook them up directly with employers. So when they come through our program, then we start floating their resumes out to the employers directly.
And so those applicants, do they need any prior experience?
No, not even a
Okay.
driver's license. We get students sometimes that have never even driven a vehicle, and we're
Mhm.
teaching them how to operate the large heavy equipment. So no, you don't.
That's amazing. Okay, so the Facebook page again and the website. For high school students, Bert is asking, are the simulators a good start?
They are. They will get them introduced to the trade. It's always best to be in the equipment and learn it firsthand. But yeah, any of that kind of experience that a student can get even prior to coming to our class certainly helps. It's not required. They're going to get plenty of it when they get there. So one of the other things that I like to talk about, the reason why we have such a high success in our program is the employability skills part of it, right? Our program doesn't just teach how to operate heavy equipment. That's a key part of it. But our employability skills program helps them be successful in the career, because we focus heavily on them personally. We teach a lot about learning how to manage their life, not letting their lives manage them, reducing distractions in their lives, learning how to live on camp rotation lifestyles, all those particular things that the employers are looking for. You know, a lot of our students that come into our class the first day, first hour, we ask them, what do employers expect of you? And very, very few people can ever answer that question. So that tells me that there's a lot of folks going out there to go to work for employers that have no idea what they want and probably not going to be all that successful at it. So we spend a lot of time working on that part of that too. We need to develop the individual. Our greatest development really takes place throughout the whole process, because our students, when they come into our graduations, they're holding their heads up with pride, and they have all kinds of confidence in themselves. And that's the biggest one, is developing the confidence that they can do these jobs. So it's a big component of ours, is to help with the personal development side of it.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Bieber. And I always ask that question, but I think it is important. It's also that rotational schedule that they get to experience, right? Because it's not
Yes.
for everyone. And I want to make a comment, because my own husband works rotational schedule. Having good food is essential.
Yeah. Yep, and having good quality days off with the family. And that's what we spend a lot
Absolutely.
of time talking about is, you know, one of the things that I teach in the class is the average person that goes to work every day and comes home every night spends less than 2 or 3 quality hours a week with the family. So when you're on a rotational lifestyle, if you learn how to live that lifestyle correctly, you can actually have a better quality of life. And so we spend time, talking about that and how to manage your home life and things, because most of the time people that lose their job had nothing to do with what was going on at work. It had everything to do with what was going on at home. So we need
Mhm.
to help. In order to be successful, we need to address that.
Thank you. Nick is asking, does the training package include airfare to and from training?
No, That's the only thing that the students need to secure. And a lot of particularly rural students, a lot of the village corporations pay for their travel. So there's a lot of other ways they can get their travel. I also understand that maybe the Department of Labor is also helping with some of that now too. So, but no, we don't do the travel. We pick them up at the Fairbanks Airport in our van, and we deliver them back when they rotate out.
Thank you. Naomi is asking, is prior certification in area, let's see, sorry about that. I'm getting all these. Is prior certification in area of the industry very helpful to MAPTS participants quickly obtaining employment after receiving MAPTS training?
Yes. Yeah, our certificates are approved by the Department of Labor, but they're also approved by industry. Industry actually helped us draft the curriculum. So yeah, they're well aware of what they'll know when they come out of our programs.
Okay. Thank you. And I see the only reason I am reading those questions out loud because some individuals may not have access to the chat box, but Amelia is great at responding. So let me just, the UAF program, is there something similar in Anchorage? Okay. Nope. It includes transportation from the Fairbanks Airport to the Delta Junction facility because the training takes place at the Delta Junction facility. Okay.
Yes.
So all students have to get to Fairbanks.
Yes.
I see.
And we're the only ones in the world that do what we do. So there's not a lot of programs that have all the components, the camp, the employability skills, the hands-on skills, the safety, all of those things. There's no programs out there that do that.
However, the Greenland camp now, yes, they want to do exactly as we are doing here in Alaska.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got back from there a couple of weeks ago. I spent a couple of weeks going over there. Went to one of their mines, operating mines, spent some time with them talking about what we're going to help provide to Greenland, and they're quite excited about that. We'll more than likely be getting students coming in from Greenland for our underground program.
Oh, that was my next question.
Yeah.
So we may have international students.
Yeah, we've already trained their instructors. They've already been to
Okay.
the site. And so we've kind of trained them through the process. But because they don't have a facility, they're going to be sending students to us here initially.
Oh, outstanding. Please make sure you spread the word and subscribe or follow the Facebook page, check the website, because that's where all the announcements are. And thank you so
And
much,
we're able to
Director
use
Weaver.
the reason the importance of the international component is because we're able to use the revenue that we generate from them to help provide the classes here in Alaska. And there again, that's why there's no charge to the students. We have like 5 different funding sources that we're always moving around. Just depends on the student's eligibility.
Well, excellent. I am so happy, Director Weaver, that you were able to join us again.
Yeah.
Yes, so good luck with everything, all the new programs. That is so exciting. So thanks so much again to you and your team for everything that you're doing.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, and very nice to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise.
Okay.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.